Alright, here's the Farseer. Going forward. Now, forcing Holy Lights is good. I know it feels like you're never going to get a kill as the Farseer harassing player, but it is good to put damage on the rifles. Like already, 1 Holy Light, down the drain. And the recent, really nicely done from PteN there. Took no damage for that either, and the Rifleman not even full health after a single Holy Light. Very, very nice harass so far. We'll see if you can continue this. You pretty much just harass until your TC comes out, or until they have too many rifles for you to do anything. And too many rifles tends to be about 5, when they can just creep in your face and you can't stop them. Back in the days, you could whisper players. True, but a lot of players back in cups in the past would just slash D&D. You can whisper players nowadays, but you actually have to add them on BattleNet, which requires a number to add them. So it's pretty much, unless you actually pre-add someone, you know. So now we're getting to that point, right, where the Rifleman could just start creeping in front of the Farseer, and the Farseer can't really stop it. Once this Rifleman's out, or maybe the next one. But PteN's done a good job so far. Obviously, the Paladin at 0 experience is what you want for as long as you can manage it. Next resummon. Farseer will run out of mana before the Paladin does, but that's alright. So I tried Archmage Beastmaster the other day and still lost. I'm assuming you mean versus Orc? The steps against with playing Archmage Beastmaster against Orc are as followed. You power creep your Archmage to level 3. Tech tier 2 as fast as possible. At tier 2 you get a Beastmaster and you harass them and you're trying to cancel their tier 2. And then after you cancel their tier 2, you're trying to kill burrows, etc. You're doing this with Defend Footmen as well, by the way. Then after the harass is over at early tier 2 stage, you back up, creep your Beastmaster to level 3. Once your Beastmaster is level 3, you expand. Once you've expanded, you retrain to Blizzard. And then you just try to wait and wait and wait until like 70 supply and hopefully win off economy, because you have invisible summons to harass his second base all day if he manages to expand. So you should have the economic advantage the entire game, and then you eventually win. This is, of course, with Double Sanctum the whole time as well. I like that PteN backed up and crept the shop right away, because the Paladin, of course, isn't going to... Just because you get out of their face for a second doesn't mean they're going to immediately take the biggest camp. A lot of times they'll take something safe because they're like, am I going to get harassed again? I'm not sure entirely. So PteN backs up and just creates both shops. This is the perfect choice. This is a perfect choice. But now HumanKingTom realizes how much space he actually has. Flute, maybe? Can't see it. No, Lionhorn. Obviously not good with the Paladin. He already has Aura. Farseer's level 3. And is PteN going to go tier 3? No, he's going to play it relatively standard. Which is Headhunter, Grunt, Shaman. Staying tier 2. Farseer is now going to be delaying what amount of creeping HumanKingTom wants to do. I mean, HumanKingTom might not want to creep a lot more once the Blood Mage is out and the first couple priests, as we see, are on their way out. Maybe he's just going to try to push. This can oftentimes be a timing strategy for the human player.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, if you watch a Sock... I actually did a theory craft on Archmage Beastmaster versus Orc. I think it's called Sock Unleashes the Beast. You can find it on our YouTube, which is still... That was a banger episode. That's if you watch that episode, you'll know how to do the strat. Not much has changed with the strategy. I don't think anything at all has changed with that strategy against Orc. The orc side of things has maybe changed a bit, but the human side of things has remained the same. So if you watch that, I think it was a shorter episode too. I realized some of those episodes really, really long, but I think that one was pretty concise, which goes through all those things I just said in some more detail. First stomp lands. Second one will be a decent one, but that's going to be all the mana. Ooh, he backs away the rifles. The TC could have microed a bit better there, but could be all right. The headhunter's putting in a lot of damage. Does HumanKingTom have enough sustain in this fight? The rifleman and the priest have died so far. TC could just spam mana pots. Oftentimes he'll just buy mana pots and use them for a single stomp because your TC is always going to be getting his mana drained, but if you can get one good stomp from a mana potion, it's worth it in these sorts of fights. Especially if you have a little bit of a surplus of gold. Raider falls as well, and HumanKingTom, he keeps on kiting. He might be favored here, but has to transfer mana over to the Paladin. 2 Riflemen die because the Paladin was out of mana. Uh-oh, this one should be saved, though. These peons in the front are doing quite a bit. But this will come back to hurt PteN if he loses all of them in the future. 2 Holy Lights left. One of the 2 will be used. The next one going to have to be used on the Blood Mage himself. Oh, Chain Lightning from the Mana Pot, but the Holy Light's there. TP will have to be used soon, most likely, but the TC at risk of falling as well. Maybe a TP. The Raider's going to get a kill here. So he should TP if he wants to save that next Rifleman.
A player's forces are under attack.
The last Paladin has a Holy Light, actually. And 2 Priests were AFK in the base. This army is all of a sudden a lot stronger. What's up, Juice? How's it going, man? HumanKingTom now is going forward. The only thing he's lacking currently is mana. Could buy a heal scroll as well. Ooh, if the shop was utilized, that'd be big. Can he make it there? He could have made it there with the Blood Mage and bought double mana pot. I think he just had enough gold for that. HumanKingTom has a lot of sustain. Rebuilds the shop currently, PteN. Now getting more health, more mana. Lethica, thank you for the 28 months. How you doing with the primer? Appreciate you, appreciate you, appreciate you. Good to see you as well. Still anyone's game here, but HumanKingTom is looking a lot stronger. Oh, that's an interesting lightning shield. Oh, but the Raider is a good lightning shielder. Mana pot stomps the heroes. PteN is going to force the TP, as it seems. Didn't have a banish there currently. If he did, he would have bought time for the shop to get up, then a health potion would have used, but PteN forces the town portal. He's down 10 supply. But all you want to do as the orc player here is just keep on holding, and eventually your heroes carry you in the long run. Like right now, if PteN creep the lab, get closer to 4-3 heroes. Be in a good position. Oh, 2 riflemen stuck. Lumber build not too crucial, but the lumber might be a problem eventually. If Tom wants to get more upgrades. Yeah, PteN is just going to creep the lab. A lot of experience here. Action scroll purchase. Headhunter. Not a big deal. Wand of the Wind is a big deal, actually. Especially if the priests run low on mana. Of course, there's no Brilliance Aura. And then you can get a nice timed Wand of the Wind. Maybe kill the Blood Mage, something like that. This is a very useful item when you're in a position to have to make a play to hold, which PteN might find himself in. Oh, TC. Some good mana. He's at least going to get one more stomp. Lightning Shield's doing a good job. HumanKingTom has a heal scroll, right? Yes, he does. He's going to need that pretty soon. Chain Lightning. And there's the heal scroll. But the army's just so strong for HumanKingTom. It's so strong. And there's not a lot of grunts. And the Raiders don't do good damage. It's really got to be all the heroes. One Rifleman finally falls. And PteN might find a couple of kills here. He used the Wand of the Wind on the Blood Mage both times, but that's not really going to do much for him. PteN might be running out of steam here. The Paladin just has so much mana, he's always going to save everything. And the supply advantage is nearly at 20. We might be getting to kill the Paladin territory. There is no Divine Shield. He was saving the skill point to see if he needed it. Another heal scroll. And HumanKingTom is still ready to fight. One thing PteN could do, if only HumanKingTom wasn't already in his base, would be retrain Shockwave and start playing hit and run. If you're behind against Pally Rifles, you can always go into hit and run as an undead player or an orc player. But the hard thing about hitting and running is you can't do it if they're literally just going to main you, because you have to run all the way across the map to do so. And pot used. I think we got to focus the Paladin here, but level 3 Blood Mage is going to be plenty of banish. One Rifleman finally falls, but the TC for one rifle is not a good trade. And it looks as though the Pally Rifles has worked in the end. HumanKingTom, PteN's still going to try to hold on, but with what? 28 supply currently. And then Bro will fall. PteN rebuys the TC. Gonna catch up some reinforcements. He's trying to hold on, but now I think HumanKingTom could just start clicking the stronghold. And he's going to win the base trade in the end. But the base is wide open. This is why I say it's so good for hit and run, because look how easily you can hit and run this base. As long as it was blocked, as long as there's a lot of towers. Obviously a lot of the peasants were killed earlier. Maybe PteN, if PteN can force a TP, then we're getting into retrained Shockwave territory, continuous hit and run territory. But if there's just a straight up base race, I think HumanKingTom will be the one to win. Okay. Oh, is this blood? Oh, his Blood Mage was meant to go by a TP, but he misclicked. I think. Right? I think that's what we saw just happen. Wait a second, okay. So there's a peon that escaped. And obviously peasants have escaped as well. These peons could be saved. I think these peons should try to evacuate what they can. PteN's still with an opportunity. No pillage. Could research it with the gold he has, but he might want to save that for buildings. The main base is dead. And the Farseer is chasing down peasants, but there's still 1, 2, 3 available. Did more peons make it out? Just the one made it out alive, you guys. Just the one. The main base is still alive. There's still one burrow up as well. PteN made this into a not entirely lost game. But he doesn't have pillage, so he's not getting a lot out of this. He could still research pillage. And he still has a TP, so he has one more round of hit and run. Because he can kill every building he can, and then he can TP home, kill the shop, and then he can try to play around the hit and run one more time. But he's never going to be able to fight PteN. Never, ever, ever, ever. Doesn't lose anything for this round and saves the TP. And the wolves continue to kill the farm. PteN making it into a playable game. HumanKingTom has no economy ever again. And only one peasant that I can see? Where's the okay, second peasant's here. The bro's up. PteN can rebuild peons and start mining again. Tells what he can. Is he going to rebuild peons? Vader kills the shop. Oh, this might be a TP. You don't want to be losing units here because eventually you just can't kill buildings anymore. You don't have enough. Shamans are alright. They're going to die anyway. He does retrain Shockwave. Alright. And the wolves can continue to harass. Priests maybe should be sent back to get ready to dispel the wolves. Retrain. Is he rebuilding peons? Does he not realize he could just start mining again?
A player's forces are under attack.
Oh no! The burrow's found, and that's going to be the one peon going down. I mean, just one peon mining is going to force a reaction out of HumanKingTom, and HumanKingTom has to be at 2 places at once now. He's got to defend his buildings, and he's got to stop PteN from mining. HumanKingTom gets revealed. I wanted to look for the 2 peasants when I can, as well. 1 peasant? I don't know where number 2 is. Did he buy a Zeppelin or something? I can't find it. Did it die? Is there literally 1 peasant left, and it's found by a wolf?
A player's forces
And all you gotta do if you're PteN, look, 1 shockwave, run away. And there's no lockdown. He could, in theory, buy a Staff of Teleportation. Okay, here's what he could do in theory if he gets enough gold from these peons. He could buy a Zeppelin and a Staff of Teleportation. He could Zeppelin his army right here. And Shockwave and then Staff out with his TC. If HumanKingTom ever goes across the map to try to base trade again, the Zeppelin drops and starts killing buildings. And then if HumanKingTom doesn't go across the map and try to win the base trade, the TC just keeps on Shockwaving, staffing out, Shockwave. Now that's a super long-term game plan, but for now the Blood Mage is kind of doing that with the Staff of Teleportation. No pillage at all, but it's probably too late for pillage to be that valuable. Ooh, tempting for the Orc army to go and try to fight that, but I don't think you ever fight again. Unless something is totally gifted to you. Yeah, Priest to defend against the Wolf Split. And the Raider looks for damage on the Peasant, but it will be saved. HumanKingTom might have found the solution now. PteN might be forced to fight one of the 2 armies. I don't know. Oh, this is a mistake, potentially. Oh, actually, gonna kill all the priests, maybe? Blood Mage staffs back. These priest kills are big because that means the wolves can now split. Oh, surround! Oh my god. Remember, he can still TP if he needs to. Maybe he should TP and kill the rifles, no? Imagine. 4 free rifles. He'd at least get 2 of them. 3 of them now with the Raiders. Yes, he will. He's going to get 3 of the 4 riflemen, so that's now 2 priests. And he should be able to get these rifles. At least 2. And remember, HumanKingTom can never replace these units. I mean, the same goes for PteN, but he's got the heroes to base trade. HumanKingTom does not, because he's got no Flame Strike. He gets 1 more kill, he'll have level 4 Blood Mage, though. You can build 1 burrow on the island. Is there an island on this map you can build stuff? Oh, yeah, here, right? And here? Yeah, burrow right there. Oh, he's creeping? No, he's just going to hit and run. And now, yeah, PteN is sort of in a position where he's found the openings in the defense of HumanKingTom. Now HumanKingTom is forced to base trade. Where is the peasant? Here. HumanKingTom can build farms. PteN has a peon here. He can't afford to build anything other than a shop, currently. It's going to come down to the last building, you guys. And remember, no TP. There's just a speed scroll for PteN. Why not sell Aura? That is a very good question. Okay, that is a very good question. Alright, so we're down to the last workers and buildings. Shop is the only thing that you can afford, and HumanKingTom will build a lumber mill, and he'll be able to afford another lumber mill after selling items. But I don't believe PteN is revealed yet. HumanKingTom is, but PteN knows about the lumber mill. Leaves the wolves. Do these wolves have enough? No, they don't. He's got to summon another set.
A town is under siege.
Okay, leaves a raider. Okay, so now PteN has a choice to make. Do you just full commit for the last 2 buildings and lose everything for them? Or do you try to play it a little bit slower? It looks like he's just going to full commit. Oh, these raiders. That ain't it. That's 2 free raiders. He's just going for it. HumanKingTom can block the way. Oh my god. Wait a second. Lumber mill. Can he rebuild anything? He's got gold. Build another lumber mill. Build another lumber mill. Build another lumber mill. Build. Oh my god. Can he banish all day? Can he banish all day? Builds a tower. Lumber mill's dead. He can banish the heroes. He can't banish every wolf though, but he can dispel them, and the tower goes down. Oh my god. There was a world in which HumanKingTom could have microed and won that. But the wolf summon. He had just enough mana to summon wolves. Oh my god. PteN should have won that, but it was very close to him not winning that. Alright. That was a game.